a vice president to the president. In some countries, the vice president is called the deputy president. In everyday speech, the abbreviation VP can be used. In government, a vice president is a person whose primary responsibility is to act in place of the president on the event of the president's death, resignation or incapacity. Vice presidents are either elected jointly with the president as their running mate, or more rarely, appointed independently after the president's election. Most governments with vice presidents have one person in this role at any time. Although in some countries there are 2 or more vice presidents, an extreme case being around 12 vice presidents. If the president is not present, dies, resigns, or is otherwise unable to fulfill their duties, the vice president will generally serve as president. In many presidential systems, the vice president does not wield much day-to-day political power, but is still considered an important member of the cabinet. Some vice presidents in the Americas hold the position of President of the Senate. This is the case, for example, in Argentina, the United States, and Uruguay. The vice president sometimes assumes some of the ceremonial duties of the president, such as attending functions and events that the actual president may be too busy to attend. The vice president of the United States, for example, often attends funerals of world leaders on behalf of the president. In parliamentary or semi-presidential systems, a vice president may coexist with a prime minister, as is the case in India and Namibia, but the presence of both officers concurrently is rare. In business, vice president refers to hierarchical position that ranges from extremely senior positions, directly reporting to C-level executives, to junior non-management positions with 4 to 10 years of experience. In non-financial businesses, vice presidents often report directly to the president or CEO of the company and is a member of the executive management team. Some corporations that use this term may have individuals with the title of vice president, responsible for specific business divisions. When there are several vice presidents in a company, these individuals are sometimes differentiated with titles denoting higher positions such as executive vice president or senior vice president, with the remaining management team holding the title vice president. The title of assistant vice president or associate vice president is used in large organizations below vice president, and there can be a very convoluted list of other types of VPs as seen in the next section. As many of these VPs have minimal employees reporting to them, their necessity has been questioned, with for example Inc. magazine arguing to flatten the corporate hierarchy. Similarly, as universities have adopted a corporate structure, there is concern over administrative bloat and overpaying VPs. Benjamin Ginsberg, a political scientist and professor,
has claimed the proliferation of VPs and other administrators is destroying universities.
Corporate vice president is an older term that usually denotes a vice president that is named as a corporate officer by the board of directors. Not all vice presidents in a company in the modern business environment are named as an official corporate officer. Depending on the specific organization, the following may be an example of the hierarchy of the vice presidents. This comparison is not strictly correct, as director is a legal term, meaning someone registered with the relevant country's company registrar as having managerial control of the company and having legal responsibility for its operation, whilst a vice president does not. In either case, the responsibilities may be overall to the company, a region, business unit or functions such as sales, marketing, IT etc. In brokerage firms, investment banks and other financial companies, vice president is a seniority rank that denotes higher responsibility, though such need not be managerial. The title does not denote an actual managerial position within the company, but often a role relatively junior to the executive board. Financial services companies have multiple vice presidents, possibly because the title is a form of delayering when an employee cannot be moved higher in the organization but still deserves recognition. In most cases, the title merely implies that someone is in a medium seniority individual contributor role. In other organizations, one or multiple vice presidents are elected by the members of the organization. When multiple vice presidents are elected, the positions are usually numbered to prevent confusion as to who may preside or succeed to the office of president upon vacancy of that office. In some cases, vice presidents are given titles due to their specific responsibilities. For example, Vice President of Operations, Finance, etc. In some associations, the first vice president can be interchangeable with X.